Hey, welcome to the Distilled Brand Happy Hour. My name is Ryan Roten. I am the owner of the Distilled Brand, and I'm on a mission to help micro business owners clearly articulate who they are and what they do. And so I imagine you have a question right now, which is, what is exactly a micro business owner? And so how we define micro business owners at the Distilled Brand is anybody who's making less than 200,000 a year and you've been in business for 1 to 5 years. And we know that with just a few tweaks to your messaging, to your process, to your offer, you can really start to gain traction in your business and start to grow. And so this happy hour is dedicated to you micro business owners. So these will be micro lessons for you micro business owners. And with that, I'm going to dive in. And before I do, I want to give thanks to D Fish, because I'm going to steal his line from his podcast. So let's go ahead, belly up to the bar, and dive into today's first micro lesson. So one of the things that we start our process out with all of our clients is helping them identify who their audience is, what their niche is. And the reason that we do that is because we know that a lot of people struggle with this. And if you don't have your niche or your audience well defined, it's really hard to come up with messaging that's going to connect. So today we're going to talk about the two parts of a niche. Most people, when they think about a niche or their audience, they always want to start with who, right? Who is part one of selecting or understanding your niche. So when people think of a niche, they think of an audience, right? They think of a target market. They might hear the term avatar. They might also hear the term persona. Right? Whatever term you're used to hearing, you've probably seen a lot of ways where you can go and select and slice and dice who you want to serve. This is the part where most micro business owners get stuck. They fixate too much on who they serve, and it paralyzes them in the rest of their business. So if you're ever in that situation, you'll know it, because if you take this from a sales perspective, your sales may go like this and plateau. And what happens at this moment is that you're probably serving more than one audience. And so your messaging becomes muddled. And when you know that that's happening, when you feel like, man, I just can't figure out who I serve, I want to introduce you to the second part of a niche, which is the what. You can't have a niche without knowing who you serve and also having a what. The what is the problem that you solve. It's the thing that you do best. It's how you help and serve your customers. But it's not also just the problem you solve. It's also how you solve the problem. So it's your process. It's your methodology. It's your system. So it's what problem you solve and how you solve it. These two things together will help you understand the niche that you serve and how you serve them. This is how you can start to clearly articulate who you are, in other words, who you help, and what you do, how you help them. What most people do is they'll draw these two circles the exact same size. And when you do that, you're basically saying, I help everyone with everything. So if you feel that way, even if you know in your heart of hearts that your services can absolutely help people, anyone who comes along, know that all that's going to do is continue to muddle your message, and you're not going to be able to gain traction as quickly as you can if you focus in on who you serve and specifically what you do. Here's another thing that you need to understand about defining a niche. Over here, under what, is you can become known for this. You can only become known for the problems that you solve and how you solve them. You cannot become known for who you serve. Because what's the very next question people ask when they say who you serve? Well, the next question is well, how do you help them? How you help your clients succeed is the only way you can become known. And that's how you can build your brand and increase the traction in your business. Understand who you serve, but if you're stuck there and your message feels messy or muddled, go and focus on what? The problem that you solve and how you solve it. And once you have that figured out, it becomes much easier to determine who has those problems that you can help. So I hope you enjoyed today's micro lesson on the Distilled Brand Happy Hour. This is going to be a weekly show. We're going to do this every Wednesday at the same time. If you have questions in your micro business about avatars, about messaging, about your website, all those types of things, let me know. Hit me up, as you can see right here in the DMs in LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to talk about or work through what the micro lesson would look like in your particular case. But thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you being here, and cheers to all you micro business owners.